Today's forum served to introduce an idea of public-private sector joint enterprise. It follows a series of consultations with select groups and will involve the setting up of a steering committee made up of 4 representatives from either side that will work out a plan towards this end. One of the proposed topics was the general sales tax, an area that the PM said needs to be enhanced.
Now, the situation there is obviously troubling, but you would be aware that a leadership change has already taken place at the GST department, that 2 compliance officers recruited from outside the department have been in post for some months now. These are moves that have already paid dividends, but additional effort has been under consideration and 2 specific proposals are currently on the table. One is intended to increase the flow of information from individual establishments to the GST office, while the other is intended to encourage the public to become involved in oversight operations by offering some rewards.
And for those who have managed to trick the system in customs duties, Prime Minister Barrow gave a warning that a whole new system will be put in place to reduce corruption and to increase revenues.
You know that the Asikuda World system is presently being installed. We're getting some support from the CDB in this regard. And we will need to establish how well that system works before embarking on any new major operation. We are, of course, already cognizant of the fact that there's a need to install very soon the container scanning capability, without which we will not be able to continue to export, certainly to the United States. Now, we have to concede that the Asikuda project, which, while it will not be a panacea, certainly would result in fundamental changes.
While fundamental changes are expected to reap much-needed funds for our country, tackling crime and engaging street gangs in positive work has also been an expensive feat.
We, government, is financing the work program for these gangs to the tune of $50,000 a week. I make the point that it is paying dividends, but at a tremendous cost to government. We're not stopping to count that cost because we accept completely that there was a need to do better, and we accepted completely that this was a huge deterrent in terms of the business environment.
That business environment has had to face gross interest rates on financing, and that was another key area for the PM, who said that he would like to see the Development Finance Corporation become Belize's national lending institution.
While there has been an almost precipitous tumble in average deposit rates, average lending rates have fallen only marginally, benefiting the banks, of course, by way of larger interest rates. More competition is needed. One step in that direction would be to turn the DFC into a full-scale national commercial bank, and government will shortly be appointing a committee to examine just that possibility. The time may also have come to legislate a cap on interest rate spreads.
But while these areas were singled out as top priority towards creating a more suitable economic environment, how that will happen is the key question.
Traditionally, the private sector has been the engine of growth, while the public sector has concentrated on providing the enabling environment in the form of the physical and institutional support structure. Increasingly, however, and this came out clear in the discussions that were had with you, there appears to be a need for more direction from government. The paradigm should be tweaked and ought to shift a little. It seems that the public sector needs to take more of a lead in identifying, marketing, and bringing to fruition the business and investment possibilities that are likely to attract private sector interest. Thus, the Ministry of Foreign Trade, the Ministry of Economic Development, and the Ministry of Agriculture will all have to step up. A clarion call needs to go out now. Attitudes in the public sector must be changed, Initiatives all across the board must be grasped. Openings must be created. Government must be ready to put in place the practical and psychological arrangements, not just to buttress, but to muscularize the private sector.
The representatives of both private and public sectors will over the next coming weeks chart out a course towards improving revenues and exports, and within 6 months the PM will hold another such forum. Reporting for Love News, I am Marian Ali.